Okay, so we're back to looking at the bursting plate that we looked at the other day, and we're going to look at how to do this chamfer. Okay, so the first thing we need to look at is before we would import it or save it as a DXF from SolidWorks. You can see here that the chamfer is actually on the part in SolidWorks. We need to get rid of that. Okay, so if we don't get rid of that, basically when we import it to Alphacam, there would be two lines. This one going right round and this one at the bottom of the chamfer. The problem is when we go to pick tool directions and pick geometries as boundaries, this won't be treated as one closed geometry, but it'll be treated as lines, and therefore it won't let you select it. Okay, so if I just drag that up above the chamfer, it gets rid of it. Okay, so I would save that as a DXF and then import it. Now I already have the operations that we looked at the other day. Okay, so if I run that, this is for the pocket. Okay, so the next thing then I need to do after this is to machine the outside profile. Okay, so I'm going to stop that. Okay, so I want to machine the outside profile. Okay, so I want to machine this. Okay, so if I go back to the drawing, it's telling me that it's 12 minus 12. Okay, so the top of the brush is 18, but this is 12. So I'm going to select my tool. I'm going to pick 12 mil. Okay, going to pick tool direction. So I want it to be outside, clockwise outside of that. Okay, close. Then rougher finish. Okay. Um, I want it to be minus 12. I want to do it in 3 cuts. Okay. And I'm going to apply a lead in, lead out. Okay. Finish. Okay. So now I'm going to just simulate that. Okay. So that's it, just doing the outside edge. So I'm going to stop that. Okay. So now what I want to do is basically offset this line. Okay. So whenever we talked about chamfers and we looked at the presentation, which is on Moodle, we said that if it was a 1 mil chamfer, we needed to go out 1 mil and down 1 mil. So you'd be going Z minus 2. Okay. And we're going to go out. And that's to make sure that the tool is cutting on the edge and not on the tip of the tool. Okay. So I'm going to go to the edit tab and I'm going to look for offset. Okay. I want to offset 1 mil and I want it to be geometry. Click OK. I'm going to pick this line and I want to offset out. Okay, so you can now see I've got 2 green lines here. Okay. So now I want to go back to machine. I want to select my tool. So I'm going to go into engraving. Okay, we haven't looked at anything in here. So you can see here there's different cone or engrave. There's a 45-degree and a 30-degree, different diameter. Okay, so there's a 10 mil 45-degree tool. Okay, so you can see if I go down and cut on the edge of that, not on the tip, I will achieve the 45-degree chamfer. Okay, so tool direction. I want to pick clockwise on center of this outer line. Okay, so the one that I offset out. Okay, so you can see my wee arrow is on the center. Okay, and now I want to go to rougher finish. So levels and cuts. Okay, so material top needs to be -6, and I'll show you why in a wee second. And if I'm going to go down 2 mil further, it's going to be -8. I want number of cuts to be 1. I don't want to leave any stock and I don't want to apply a lead in or lead out. Okay. And then I'm going to select the outside line. Okay. So if I go back to the second pocketing operation, okay, so this one, or sorry, the first one even. So I went down -6 that first time, okay, so that's then where my new top was, my Z top, okay. So I'm going to go ISO, solid, and I'm going to start looking at this. Okay, so now we're coming into doing the outside edge, okay? And we've done it in 3 cuts. Okay, so I'm going to come back and I'm going to slow that down. Okay, so I'll speed this bit up. Actually, I'll go operation by operation. Okay, so I'm going to slow it down. Okay, so now this is coming in to do our outside edge. Okay, so you can now see that we've done the chamfer on the edge. Okay, I'm going to try and slow that down again. Okay, and I'll try and pause it whenever we get to the chamfer bit. Okay, so that's it, taking out the outside edge. Okay, so sorry, I'm trying to pause, but I didn't do a very good job of that. Okay, so you can see the tool coming in. Okay, you can see where the point or the tip of the tool is, and you can see where it's cutting on the edge to achieve that chamfer. Okay, okay, so that's chamfer. Okay, so just to recap, we basically picked whenever we went into select tool, engraving, and you have a couple of different 45-degree chamfers or a 30-degree in there. We then had to offset our line. So this one by 1 millimeter. This one here, 1 millimeter out, and then we went 1 millimeter deeper when we're going with our Z height. Okay.